1990, and even though I technically retired 4 years ago, there's so much good stuff going on. I feel like if I wasn't part of it, I'd really be missing out. So I still manage to show up most weeks. And I think working with teenagers sort of keeps me young, which is why my hair hasn't turned white yet. So anyway, actually we have 6 students, although one of them is not here. That's Ransom Hatch. And Ransom is our ASB president. And when I wrote about him, I had to explain why we were picking him, because if you sort of look at him on paper, it's like, well, why would he be accepting our challenge scholarship or your challenge scholarship? And actually, today's a good example of why he needs your assistance. He is going to the University of Washington. I think he wants to be a teacher ultimately, teach math. But he's done everything right. I mean, he's involved in varsity sports. He's ASB president. He's involved in service. He's earning his Eagle Scout badge. Academically, he's quite strong. But both parents have some serious health issues. And his dad this weekend had his 3rd stent put in. And when I saw Ransom on Monday, he was a wreck because he's working, trying to help the family financially, taking his dad to the hospital, and just dealing with all the emotional stuff that goes on with that. So that's why Ransom is not here. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about Keenan. Keenan is in the Lincoln Center program and has moved around a fair amount between Fife and Federal Way, and right now he's living in Fife, so he has to commute to Lincoln High School. And in his freshman year, well, actually, to take one step back, apparently there was some difficult stuff when he was younger, and he tells me he wasn't on the right path, but he doesn't want to go into details. So, but the important thing is that he got on the right path, actually starting his freshman year. So he was in a parent conference with one of his teachers, actually I think it was Amy Lavold, who's a dynamite English teacher. And I think his mother gave him the evil eye, and she's here. And so he made a promise to her that he would change his ways and that he would pay attention to school. And as you probably know, Lincoln Center is a very challenging program. And he started doing the right stuff. And then he sort of turned the tables on his teachers, and instead of the English teacher calling for the parent conference where he got confronted, he asked for a conference with all of his teachers and said, "You're not holding me accountable enough. I want to make sure that you're paying attention to what I'm doing, and if I'm not doing the right stuff, there need to be some consequences." So I think Keenan is on his way. Well, I'll let him tell you where he's going. So Keenan, come on up and tell us a little bit about just a few words about challenges and what got you and kept you on the right path, and where you're going and what you hope to do.
Okay. Early in high school, I faced many challenges. Clashing with my teachers, disobeying, and not understanding the true value of education. But as I realized how valuable education was to me, I changed my ways and overcame that obstacle and became involved in upper bound programs and more involved in Lincoln Center and ASB and things like that. And it would benefit me. Another challenge, commuting to school. I lived in Federal Way for my sophomore year. And I had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to get on the bus by 5:45, 6 o'clock to get to school by 7:30. And it was intense because I had to balance sports, time management, doing my homework at the same time, AP classes, and hours of bus riding every day. And it was intense. It's a challenge. It was hard for me. And now, the beginning of my senior year, I lost my best friend to, he was murdered. Somebody shot him, and he was murdered. And it's hard for me sometimes because that's like the only best friend you have to go to It was like, who do I talk and say my feelings to? Who do I say my goals with? And it's hard. Who do I... I'll wait just a second. But it's hard sometimes not being able to go to anybody, because when I go home, my family has their own problems. My stepdad, in the last 6 months, he's lost his daughter and his sister to cancer. So I don't like being a burden to the family, bringing any more problems in the household that already is. So I overcome those challenges, and now my friend's passed away, I still volunteer with his organization, BillyRay.org is a website. I still participate and do community service and put as much effort as I can into these things, and I've overcome all my challenges. So I'm honored to receive the scholarship. Next year I will be attending Washington State University, and I look forward to graduating next week.
Tina, you'll need this if you're going to go to Washington. There you go. On behalf of the Sunrise Rotary, congratulations for a scholarship for $2,000.
Okay, so next we have Diana Denisenko. And Diana, you can start walking up here while I'm talking about this. So imagine yourself being 11 years old, not speaking any Ukrainian or Russian, and arriving in that foreign place, and going to school, and being smart and academically motivated. And that's what Diana had to do. So she talks about how she had to sort of figure out for herself how she was going to not only get by, but excel. So, and she talks in her application about having to learn what she wasn't being taught in the classroom, and she did that by reading, and reading. She's one, I guess she has 7 siblings, and she's inspired and worries about her mom, who is basically the breadwinner for the family. So lots of pressure in terms of financial challenges in the family, lots of challenges learning English, and of all the students' writings that I've read over the years, Diana is probably one of the most interesting that I've had the opportunity to read. She just is a beautiful writer, has a great way with words, and just excels. I think she's got the 2nd highest GPA in the building, and I see great things happening with her. She also doesn't like to talk about herself a whole lot. It's hard to pull things out of her. She's just always, I've never not walked into a room at Lincoln and she's just not totally engrossed in doing academic work. So Diana, come and tell us a little bit about your challenges, what motivated you, and where you're going and what you hope to do.
Good morning, my name is Diana Denisenko, and I want to start by saying that when I was 11 years old, I came to America without knowing any language, and for half a year I didn't go to school at all. I stayed at home because we didn't know how to even enroll in school and do all of that stuff. So when I did enroll, I went to 5th grade, and they put me in the lowest math class. I had no idea what people were saying. It was just like a whole new world to me, and so I just felt like I was separated. I couldn't communicate with anybody, and basically in math class they were doing these problems that I did in 1st grade, and they were only learning their multiplication. I was like, man, I learned this in 1st grade, and it still put me in the lowest class. But so the teachers were shocked, like, how did you do it so fast? Whoa! And I was like, what? It's easy. And so, but reading and writing, nobody really showed me my mistakes in writing, and I sort of tried to do it by myself, so I just read and read. First it was just little books, baby books, and it was really embarrassing because I had to read them, and people by me were taking the AR test, and they had these fat books, and I was just devastated because my book would be laying there like a tiny book with a whole bunch of pictures in them. But so I started reading, and I read a lot of books, and then books became bigger and had less pictures in them, and I became better at writing and speaking and expressing myself. And another challenge was looking at my mom because she had basically not a lot of happy moments in her life. So when she came to America, she lived for us and the family, and she worked. And even if she has health problems, she still goes to work. She can't take a day off because that's what keeps the family running. And I would really want to provide support for my mom, and I just wouldn't want to work at McDonald's because that wouldn't do anything. Because that's what my sister did. She had to take a job at Safeway, so she never went to college. And I would want to be somebody who will be an example for my other brothers and sisters. So everybody's looking up to me right now because my sister is working, and I'm the one in the family who's going to be the first one to graduate. And I'm hoping to do something good with my education and help people because I know how it is to go through all these problems and challenges. And thank you for giving me the scholarship.
And where are you going?
Oh, and I'm going to go to Seattle Pacific University, and I'm thinking to major in science or math because I would want to be a pediatric or an architect, or maybe something in writing. But thank you.
Well, this will help you on your way to pediatrics, writing, and what was the other one? Got a wide variety. Anyway, there you go. Congratulations on behalf of Tacoma Sunrise, a scholarship of $2,000. Good job.
So next is Ashley. So Ashley is another one of those wonderful Lincoln students, and when you walk around the building asking staff about her, it's nothing but glowing reports. And Ashley's had a difficult life. So I always practice before I come to things like this, say that I keep cool, be professional, don't get too emotional, and it always gets away from me. But Ashley's lived a pretty transient life. She's here with her mom, and she's attended 14 different schools. She's been homeless numerous times. There has been drug addiction in the family, domestic violence, weapons, tough life. She's actually, in my mind, a surrogate mom for her 3-year-old cousin because the cousin's mom was also addicted to drugs. So Ashley took that responsibility on and started. Or Angel is here with her today. And Ashley's just been involved in Pro Start program, has done well academically, and says the hard times are just obstacles in my life that I have to strive to get through. So Ashley, like many Lincoln kids, have all these really difficult issues facing them, and in some respects think, well, this is life, this is what you deal with, and they get through it somehow. And I'm not quite sure how she does that, but she does, and she does it with a lot of grace and style.
Hello, my name is Ashley, and I'm a senior, obviously. But when I was younger, my mom, she didn't go down the right path. My dad left us for, he's an alcoholic, and sorry, I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but I've been in and out of shelters all my life. I was abused for 6 years by my mom's boyfriend. I was rarely in school because we were always moving. And I didn't like to go to school because I didn't want no one to see what I was going through, because I didn't want to get taken from my mom. And I was the only one with my mom. My mom has 4 kids. One got taken away when I was younger, and 2 of them went with my grandma. And I was the only one stuck with my mom. And so
I was always with her trailing along. Always happened to see her do drugs in front of me, and people beat her. And sorry. But once I got old enough to do things for myself, that's when I realized I can't be like that. I was actually falling into my dad's lifestyle, being an alcoholic and getting into that stuff, but I stopped years ago because I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to be something better than that, because my dad told me I was just going to end up like my mom and him. I didn't want that. And so, yeah, and right now, I had Angel. She was born 3 years ago, and it was my freshman year, and it was hard because I was like living in Spanaway and going to Lincoln and trying to make sure she was fed and everything, because her mom wasn't in her life. And so I was like being a mom to her and going to school, so that's why my grades weren't so good in freshman year. But after that, they got up and higher because I kept focusing on school because she got older, so it was easier to take care of her. And then last year, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and then it went away, and then in November, she told us after my sister got married, the day after, that she sat us all down and told us that it came back, and now she has less than 2 years. So I wanted to make my mom proud, and she gets to see me graduate, but I'm just trying to make it so that she sees me being successful. And I'm going to TCC. That's all, but yeah, thank you guys.
Very powerful story. We're very proud of you. So, on behalf of Tacoma Sunrise, here's a scholarship for you for $2,000. Okay, I hope to see you at TCC. I sit on the foundation over there. So, okay, congratulations again.
My eyes are watery, so I can't see. Julia, why don't you come on up? Julia Jones is another dynamic person who has had lots of challenges in her life, and like Ashley, actually has been in and out of shelters for many years, and in fact, just in the last 2 days has had to move. She had left living with her mom, was living with her sister, and actually I don't know where she is living right now. We need to find out so we can get that on the list. And she wrote, and this is, again, I try to imagine. So what is it like to go to high school and have to deal with your algebra and your English and your history, and each night you're wondering, where's my family going to be? Where am I going to be sleeping? That's tough. And Julia's has 7 other brothers and sisters. She intentionally enrolled in the Lincoln Center program, knew that would give her the support and the push that she needed. And she has what she describes as a very durable work ethic, and pushes herself to excellence, and says if you're not determined, you will let any kind of barrier come in between you and what is trying to be accomplished. So for me, she's a poster child for resiliency. And I also happen to be on the board for Palmer Scholars, and Julia's one of our Palmer Scholars for this coming, well, for the new cohort. Our scholarship is for 4 or 5 years, so I'm looking to see lots of good things happening with Julia. So Julia, tell us a little bit more about your challenges, what motivated you, and what your plans are.
Hi everyone. Okay, well basically I have overcame many challenges in my life, such as being homeless and separated from my family and stuff. I don't know, my mom. She's like a really hard worker. There's 7 of us, and she does all that she can and stuff, you know. Right now, I'm currently living with my older sister, and like, since I was younger, I've moved a lot. When I was like really young, my mom was married, and then like everything was like perfectly fine. She got divorced, and then we moved back here from Michigan, and then she got sick, and she couldn't really work or like hold a job or anything. So we'll constantly move like with different family members and in and out of shelters, and like a few times we had like we had to like live in our car and stuff. And I know that like through each circumstance, that I've been through, it's made me a stronger person and more resilient. And I know that like anything that I go through, I can handle it. And I'm really thankful for the scholarship. I'll be the first in my family to graduate, and at that to attend college. Thank you. I plan on studying at Washington State University and majoring in psychology.
Thank you for sharing your story. For you, Julie, on behalf of Tacoma Sunrise Rotary, a scholarship in the amount of $2,000. So go Cougs. Okay.
Okay, last but not least is Deja. If you need to be pepped up in the morning and want to feel good, one of the things you want to do is find where she is in the building and go say hi to her, because I always get this giant, hello, Mr. Shane. Very, very consistent. Deja, she doesn't know this yet, but is getting lots of nice awards and recognition and other scholarships as well. And I think she's actually a phenomenal person that's going to do something maybe with public relations, because she's just got that personality. It's really interesting because she writes a lot about her lacking confidence academically, and talks about fear was crippling my self-worth. And I asked her to read what I wrote about her, and she picked out one sentence that sort of epitomizes, what some of her fears were and what helped motivate her to do things differently. She wanted to avoid the possibilities of a food stamp card with my name on it, a teenage mom, or a high school dropout on drugs, like all the other black teenage girls in my community. One of these is my destiny if you ask statistics. She didn't want to be one of those statistics. So somehow she found the confidence to stay on the right path and to do well academically, socially, emotionally at school. And I'll let her tell you a little bit more about her challenges and how she's dealt with that and what her future plans are. And she's here with her mom.
First, everybody's story has just really touched my heart. I feel for you, I feel for everybody that's here, and I just really appreciate you guys giving me the scholarship. Secondly, Kaden, I want to thoroughly apologize for my technical difficulties over there. That was just a dialogue but I really apologize for that. I'm sorry. And so, just a few of my challenges are just being the oldest of 4 and a single-parented house. My mom did go to college, just in and out, having kids, trying to raise a family on her own. And I'm the oldest. I work at McDonald's. I also did 2 years of cheerleading, which was the greatest years of my life, and I really appreciated that. Sorry, 1 second. The scholarship is really going to be a blessing for me, because I don't have any financial stability at home. My mom works 1 job with 4 kids also, and just me going to school every day is just testifying that I want to do better. And I live in a household where, financial stability is not like our strong point, and I just want to do something better with my life without having kids. I want to do something better with my life, just being on track, doing the right things, and just going to college. So thank you so much for the scholarship. I appreciate it.
Where are you going?
Oh, I'm going to Washington State University, and I'm going to be studying psychology also. Thank you.
Deja, here's a scholarship on behalf of Tacoma Sunrise for you for $2,000. I guess there's a cougar thing here this morning, except for one TCC. Woo-hoo. So congratulations. Yeah.
So, you guys, well, see, I guess we partnered in this, myself and the committee. I'd say we did a good job. You've got great kids. I think you're going to see wonderful things happening with them. I'm excited for them and proud.
And I would just like to reiterate and let you know that we have another scholarship for you for next year. And what you need to do is keep in contact with your mentors, if only by email. And all you need to really do is give us your transcript at the end of next year, and then we'll have the money for you for your second year. I'm so proud of all of you. I know it's very difficult for you to get up here and talk to us, but this is what helps us in our hearts continue to raise money at our auction for our Lincoln Scholars. So we're all so proud of you. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Chris.
And Roseanne, afterwards, can we get everyone, all the scholars together for a picture?
And we'll have a brief meeting with the scholars and their mentors as well.
Right after this meeting. So thank you, everybody, and to our scholars, our winners and their families and friends. Thank you for joining us this morning. Very inspirational stories. I wrote some things down that I think will resonate with me that every single one of you brought to the table today. Resilience was number one. Drive, heard that many times. Strong determination. You were inspired by others, and you inspired us today, I think. So, with your stories, a lot of strength, passion in education and wanting to move forward with your education, confidence, motivational. You motivate others, and your motivation. You motivate yourself, but you're inspired by others, and you didn't want to be a statistic. And I would challenge that we want you to be a statistic on the right path. So I think this today shows our commitment and our appreciation for the partnership we have with Lincoln High School, and to all you, the families and friends who support these students. God bless you, and God bless these Rotarians here today and others that go a long way to help raise money out in the community to make these opportunities a blessing. So.